Welcome to Aurelius Whitlock's Murder Museum.
I'm Marcus Richardson.
And I'm Nathan Hicken.
And it's been too long. Hi, Nathan. Hello.
Hello, Marcus. Hi.
Oh my gosh. We don't talk except when we're recording podcasts, so it's been like months.
Honestly. And on our own podcast too, not on someone else's.
Yeah. Oh, that's true. We have done some other podcasts recently. But it really has been too long. I need to ask you, did you listen to Don't Listen to This Podcast, Nathan?
I haven't. I am wildly curious as to what was going on there. I have been told about it by multiple people that it happened, but nothing about what the contents of that episode was. Vastly curious.
Well, I'll spoil it slightly now. Mostly, it was just me and Jared talking about how cool you are. And then the second half is we were preparing some riddles for you, which I'll have to get Jared on with me, and we'll do those together for you, perhaps after this exhibit.
Heck yeah.
Which, speaking of this exhibit, I believe that previously we said that we would be doing my next exhibit this time with me telling the story. But after discussing it, we'll do yours next.
Aha.
So this is going to be Nathan in the narrating seat again. Hopefully no one is disappointed that they don't get to hear Detective Nathan. I know, I mean, I think you're pretty fun as a detective, but a lot of fun as a storyteller too. So,
I promise this one is a little less involved than the previous ones. So,
I mean, pros and cons to an involved murder mystery, but no, I'm super excited. But since it's been a while, I'm thinking we bring back an oldie but a goodie of starting with a mini mystery before we hop into things.
Heck yeah.
The nature of the game is we can't really know if it's a good one or a bad one because we can't spoil ourselves, so we just got to go for it.
Mm-hmm.
So here is a short mystery in The Great Sherlock Holmes Puzzle Book, a collection of enigmas to puzzle even the greatest detective of all, by Dr. Gareth Moore. I know.
It's a doctor? Wow. What does he have a doctorate
Dr. Gareth
in?
Moore. I don't know. Mysteries. Let's hope.
I mean, that'd be pretty cool. I went to school for the wrong thing.
Okay. Well, here is a mystery within that book called The Mansion Murder. One Monday in early July, Holmes and I were summoned to a mansion about a half an hour's drive from London. The previous morning, at around 11 o'clock, a shout had been heard in the master bedroom. When the butler went upstairs to investigate, he had found the master of the house, Sir Edward Wallingthorpe, a very regal British name.
Oh, yes, classic.
Lying dead on the floor, strangled by his own scarf. Holmes and I interviewed everyone at the scene as to their whereabouts at the time of the murder, and each person had a story for us. The cook was in the kitchen preparing lunch. The maid was in the front hallway collecting the day's mail. Lady Wallingthorpe was in the drawing room reading. The butler had been in the dining room setting the table before he went upstairs and found the body. "This hasn't given us much to go on," I said, once we'd finished interviewing them all. "Everyone's alibi is as hard to substantiate as everyone else's. How can we tell who, if any of them, was lying?" "With ease," said Sherlock. "In fact, I'm prepared to instruct an arrest." Who did Holmes plan to have arrested, and why? I don't know why I didn't do British accents. I should have just gone for it. It was probably more distracting not trying the accent than it was to try to. Anyway.
Once again, I love how this is playing into the classic, if you're lying, you're the murderer. No questions asked. No other reason.
Right. I love that there's no benefit of the doubt. Do you feel like you already know what it is?
Sorry, what time was it again?
It says this is a Monday early in July, about 11 o'clock. I think I have an idea.
Oh, what's your idea?
I'm pretty confident. So if you want to say an idea first.
I have nothing at the moment, so go for it.
It says one Monday early in July, and it sounds like we're talking about yesterday, and the maid was in the front hallway collecting the day's mail.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
No post on Sunday.
No post on Sunday. Classic. That's gotta
Unless
be
I'm
it.
wrong. Is this the day before? Yeah, it says the previous morning a shout had been heard. So that makes me think that we're talking about a Sunday and a classic twist. There is no mail. And as you say, if you lie, I mean...
Yep.
Here's the thing. If this is correct, like, why didn't the maid just say, I was... Like, they couldn't say I was sweeping the floor or something?
Literally doing anything else, but pretending to pick up the mail.
Choosing to do something that doesn't happen a specific day of the week. Well, let us see. Holmes planned to arrest the maid. She claimed to be collecting the mail, but the murder happened on Sunday, so there would not have been any mail to collect.
Classic.
A nice warm-up, a little taste test of deduction to help get us ready. I'm excited. I feel like that was good.
Yeah. All right, on to the main course. Okay. All right, so as you and the listeners know, we left you in situ, having just seen Genevieve exit the murder museum, seemingly for the last time, alas. So, we're going to pick up right where we left off.
Pick off right where we left up.
Yes. Wait, scratch that, reverse it. Okay. The curator lets out a breath as Genevieve closes the door behind her. Watson?
Yes, sir.
We've got work to do. The curator glances at you. I shall talk with our sponsor. You take Marcus. Start with Greece. If she's not already there, she will be soon.
The shrine?
The curator nods before sprinting down a corridor and out of sight.
Right, Marcus, this way.
Watson leads you through areas of the museum you've never been to before. A lab with mysterious things floating in large bell jars, a full theater stage with its velvet curtains scorched and torn, and finally a library with 3 stories of books spiraling above you. Watson tugs on an old volume, and one of the bookshelves spins away, revealing a towering room lined with marble columns. In the center is an empty pedestal. Watson clears his throat.
Right, we're on cleanup duty.
He puts his hand on the center of the pedestal.
Well, come on.
You follow suit, but not before tucking the piece of paper from Genevieve into your own pocket. The marble is surprisingly warm.
There's a good lad.
The pedestal erupts into flames and all goes white. You feel a hand steady you. Sun burns your skin, and there's grass beneath your feet. You open your eyes to see a set of winding stairs built into a hillside. At the top is a temple of the ancient Greek variety. Watson, standing next to you, is now wearing a toga of blue and white, as are you. It's actually quite slimming.
Fantastic.
Though you would wish to further examine your wardrobe, a tall woman with long blonde hair and a midnight blue robe is glaring at you from the base of the stairs. Well, not at you, at Watson. John? The woman folds her arms. And Watson shifts.
Celine?
I thought I made the terms of our last meeting very clear. Watson nods.
You did. Well, my companion and I. And who is your companion?
Watson turns to you.
Marcus Aurelius?
Celine raises an eyebrow.
Yes, perhaps it's a bit early for that.
A loud booming voice echoes from the top of the stairs.
What ho! Dear Watson has graced our presence once again!
A large man wearing surprisingly tight toga that highlights his well-defined muscles skips down the stairs 5 at a time.
Heracles!
Watson and Heracles high-five before embracing.
'Tis a joyous day to be reunited with such a fine friend. And who is this fine mortal who you have brought with you?
Heracles gestures to you.
This is my assistant, Marcus Aurelius. A regal name indeed.
Heracles shakes your hand with enough vigor that it feels like your hand's going to fall off.
and 'tis most fortuitous, for we have found ourselves in a terrible state of uncertainty. Your godly investigative skills would be greatly appreciated, Honorable Watson.
Celine puts her hand on Heracles' shoulder.
Heracles, you forget your place. But are we not hoping for her swift discovery and return?
Celine sighs.
Fine. Watson, and whoever you are, follow me. We can talk in the temple.
She turns and begins to walk up the stairs. Heracles bounds past her, laughing in excitement. Watson gestures to the stairs, and the exhibit is yours.
A bit of housekeeping here. First of all, Mr. Watson, I can't help but notice, I pat his togaed shoulder, that you're physically here with me? Is that a thing that you do?
Yes, sorry, I should have explained this before coming in here, but the current situation requires a more physical presence than perhaps earlier, and, well, it's not to say we don't trust you, but given the track record...
Other people have a worse track record than me, I'm sure. I've never even been probationed.
That is true. You've not broken in, just perhaps been led astray. Some others who
Yes, that is true.
grace these halls have perhaps are a little more untrustworthy.
Well, speaking of led astray and untrustworthy, I'm not sure if it's applicable to the case at hand, but I turn my back to him and I see if I can find the note from Genevieve to read.
Aha. Magically, your toga also has pockets, and you are able to find the piece of paper.
That is magical. Did they have pockets?
This is a magic toga in a magic museum.
I know, but part of me feels like the Greeks seem to have invented so much that we idolize in the future. So maybe they invented pockets too. Who can say?
Togas didn't have pockets, but they had something called a sinus that you could store small items in. So it's like a fold. It's a pocket.
We're learning things.
Oh yeah. You pull out the paper?
Mm-hmm.
All right. This is what you see.
Well, I'm sorry, gang. This is not this is not the closure we were looking for. It says in cursive writing on some sort of parchment, Surf me gepti vlavkiv abi.
My gosh, you cracked it!
It says XXRF MYIGAPTI or J. That's probably a J. You know what? I might just post this in our Discord so curious friends can read it for themselves. And I don't know. I feel like Pocket Watson is good with ciphers, but I don't know if he'd probably help if I asked him. I'm gonna save this for another time. I think that I can look at this later.
All right. I mean, I could post this right now in the Discord, no context.
Yeah, you know what? You should post it right now, and then if people remember seeing this later, they'll know that was the moment we were recording.
Boom. Okay, I'm throwing it in the evidence and ephemera. We'll see what people make of it.
And I forgot to mention that, or I failed to mention that at the bottom of the page is a little pictogram of a duck wearing a hat, which reminds me of Ducky, an individual I met in the Red Room exhibit.
Yes. Oh, that's 2 exhibits ago now. Dang.
I don't think this is ancient Greek, so probably not applicable to the task at hand. Which brings me to my next point. Ancient Greece. Watson, is that the Heracles?
Oh, well, I mean, he doesn't go by the Heracles, just Heracles, but, yes.
All right. Exciting.
I know it's natural to be a little starstruck, but it'll pass, I promise.
Well, I remember I was starstruck when I first met Watson as well. A very famous name yourself.
Oh, yes, stop it. Another thing, what's that there?
He gestures to the little piece of paper you have.
Nothing of importance. Tuck, 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 tuck. Into
Last
my
time-
sinus.
Yes.
If you forgive me, the last time there was nothing of importance, you nearly summoned a Newman into reality and broke the whole murder museum.
I'm sure I didn't use the exact words, nothing of importance. We can check, but that doesn't sound like me. I promise if this note, I'll just say it's... No, I won't say. I'll just say it's a note, and if it makes me summon an Eldritch Being, I'll stop it. I'll make sure I don't do that.
If I seem to recall last time, you had a little help. In fact, you wouldn't be here if it weren't for two people who you owe your life to now.
Are you one of those people?
I being one of them.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Well, I'm here to help. Hopefully that pays back some some blood debt I suppose I owe you. Well, let's walk and talk. Let's go to the temple. I'm interested to meet this Celine as well.
He harumphs and starts walking up the steps. Are there any questions you would like to ask on the way up the steps, or would you like to just go up?
I'll say, is Celine... I need to brush up on my mythology. Are we on Mount Olympus right now?
Celine, who is ahead of you, turns around at your question, puts her hands on her hips, and says, "Of course not. We're on... You're at the Temple of the Gods on Naxos. Honestly, Watson, did you not tell him anything?"
Sorry.
Yeah, Watson. Put my hands on my hips.
You're about as close as to Mount Olympus as you can get for a mortal.
Noted. Well, I apologize for our stilted introduction, but what was your name? Do you have a title, Celine?
Just Celine will do. I'm the caretaker here.
Okay. Is that Celine with an S or with a C?
You've learned well that spelling does matter. It is.
It'll never again will I be caught up on a spelling. Fool.
It is Selene.
Okay, that's how I wrote it down. Good. Yeah, I'd like to know more about this situation, so I'll happily go all the way up to the temple.
Fine. Come into my office. So, Celine leads you up the stairs. As the stairs flatten out, you see a large temple akin to the Parthenon with giant columns, a huge ornate pediment, and large grounds out front. You see, out in front, there are tables set up of the ancient Greek variety, obviously.
Folding ancient Greek tables?
Yes. Classic. There's some tablecloths set down there. It looks like they're preparing for a feast of some sort. In fact, as they walk past, Celine waves Heracles towards the tables. He bows and exits, bidding you farewell. Celine leads you into the temple proper and into the atrium. Atrium of the temple has some shrines, little miniature shrines along the side, as well as archways going off into the east and the west, and the north, as well as a small door leading off into what you assume is an office, as Celine gestures you that way. But the main thing that draws your eye is a large marble colossus stretching a good 50 foot tall. The statue holds a broken chain in one hand and a curved war axe in the other. Strangely enough, the statue begins at the shins before rising up to the rest of the colossus. And in front of the colossus, hanging suspended from what appears to be thread, is a figure wrapped in thread and bandages. You can't tell much, and Celine doesn't even acknowledge it as she walks past.
Oh, so maybe that's not the issue we're here for. Does it look like this person is dead?
The threads are moving, and they do appear to be breathing.
Okay, when you say threads, how thick are we talking? Like Yarn,
like yarn
twine.
thickness. Yes, yarn.
Okay, and remind me, this person is hanging?
Yes, imagine like a cocoon, much like a spider cocoon, hanging in front of the Colossus.
I should have visualized that first. That's extremely normal.
Classic ancient Greek things.
Yeah, definitely gonna nudge Watson on that one and see if now is the time or not to learn more about what's happening there.
It's rude to stare. We'll talk about it later.
All right. As I was. All right. But I definitely do glare at it, give it a side eye as I walk towards the office. I'm curious, does this chain and blade, if only Nathan was on my side, because I would be able to ask him all sorts of questions about Greek mythology. Maybe Watson will help me, but I wonder what that is the god of.
Mm-hmm. I will say for the Greek history buffs, most of this exhibit is inspired directly from Greek mythology, and I take a lot of stuff from there. I do change some things, for which I apologize.
You take liberties, which
yes,
which I think we always take liberties. We put pockets in togas. It's kind of what we do.
Exactly. So, thus,
I gotta say, mysteries get a little bit more fun when you don't get so fussy about the what should and shouldn't exist in the world. Like, to an extent, it's good to do it right, but we're here for a fun time, not a historically accurate, let's learn together about everything time.
Exactly. And I mean, hey, no one listening was there in ancient Greek times. They can't tell me exactly how it was.
Yeah.
That being said, you walk into Celine's office, and it's a very modernized office.
Really?
You see a nice oak desk with a large bust of her own head and a little dippy bird. You know, those little things.
Is it a Grecian dippy bird?
Oh, yes.
Or
yes.
is it remarkably... Okay, all right.
Greek-style dippy bird. You also see a small empty barrel, and then a framed portrait on the wall with an inscription. Celine takes a seat behind the desk and gestures to you both to take a seat as well.
I shall. But again, I squint and give a side eye at an inscription underneath the portrait. Like, I'm going to read you later. Oh, unless I can see from here. Maybe I have good eyesight.
You have pretty good eyesight that you could read it. The portrait is inscribed with the following. Darkness born of light, a wingless bird fleeing to heaven from earth. Each eye that meets me weeps, but not from grief. I will say, I did not write that. That was Cleobulus, an ancient Greek riddler.
What?
Yes. So this is a Greek riddle. Ha ha ha.
Wow. And then is the painting above it at all related to that enigma?
No. In fact, it appears to be blank canvas.
Oh my. I might chew on that as well. Not gonna.
It's just a little portrait on the wall.
It's just a portrait on the wall. Okay. I sit down. What does Celine have to say?
All right. Well, Watson and Marcus.
Aurelius
Heracles was. Oh yes, sorry, Marcus Aurelius. Strange name. Heracles was right. We do have a bit of a situation here. And what's that? We're always eager to help. Watson leads forward a little bit. He seems very eager to help. Yes, well, one of the, guests, revelers, patrons has gone missing. A girl by the name of Uriel, spelled like so, Euryale.
That would not be in the first 5 attempts of mine to spell that name correctly.
And I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it correctly, but we shall see. She's gone missing. We haven't seen her since yesterday.
And this being an island, and there being only one boat, there's not that many places she could have gone. I've had my hands full with trying to finish up the prep work and the organization for the festival. I have not had time to look into this. I'm not really sure why or where or how, but like Heracles said, it would be useful to have your help. Watson gives her a sharp salute. Ah, yes. As my assistant can tell you, I'm adept at solving many cases.
Indeed, he is.
He slaps you on the back.
Pray tell, assistant, would you like to take the lead? Any questions that you might have?
Yes, the first one is just about the decor in here, though. Celine, are you from here? From this time? This place?
What a strange question. Do you not know... Well, I mean, I'm not from the island, no. I used to travel a lot more than I do now.
Okay. You would prefer not to elaborate on maybe where you got that dippy bird?
That was a gift.
Great. All right. Well, fine. We're here for a cause. This Uriel, you say was last seen 2 days ago or 1 day ago?
Last night.
Last night. And who were they seen with? What were they doing?
Well, there are only 5 other people here, and one of them doesn't tend to hang out with the others. No pun intended.
Mm-hmm. Interesting.
But the other 4 and I were all at dinner together last night. I retired early. The others stayed up reveling.
So it sounds like we should speak to the others. Could I give their names of the 4 revelers?
Oh, yes. There's Heracles, who you've already met. There's Achilles, Perseus, and our last, the custodian, the Minotaur. Sorry, the Minotaur.
Was that an intentional slip? Was that diminutar? Like he's small?
No, sorry, that's... Achilles has a nickname, and unfortunately it's rubbed off on me. Sorry, I have a lot on my plate.
And the man in the bandages and thread?
Oh,
or woman?
That is no man. That's Arachne, or as she's known here, the Oracle.
Oh my, how odd. Well, sounds like a colorful cast of characters.
Yes, this temple does tend to gather those, especially this time of year.
Celine, do you have, just before we go on our way, do you have any suggestions of, first of all, I suppose, were these revelers, did they have their own rooms or places they stayed?
Oh yes, every guest here has a chamber, so to speak.
Okay, and may we have access to each of those chambers?
I mean, you may certainly have access to Uriel's. The others... Let's just say, I'd rather not cross some ancient Greek heroes. But if you gain access to the rooms through other means, or if they give you the key, I suppose I can't complain. But I do have a spare for Uriel somewhere in here. She digs around and hands you a key.
We will take it gladly. And finally, do you have any thoughts on, was there any tension or anything going on in the time before Uriel disappeared?
I mean, tension, plenty. I'm trying to prepare for the solstice feast. So lots to do, lots of work to do. I was enlisting everyone I could. Heracles has been wonderful, helping out. But I haven't had too much time to spend with the guests. Uriel's been here a week or so. Here for the festival. Beyond that, I don't know much.
Okay. Well, thank you for the information, and I'm so sorry, Watson. Do you want to take over? I mean, I'm your assistant.
Oh, yes. That's quite enough. Don't get too excited there. Well, Celine, if there's anything, I'm quite aware. Now, if you will excuse me, I have work to do. She ushers you out of the office.
I see if I can trip over the barrel on the way. What's that about? Is that like a trash can, or is there something else going in there?
You trip over the barrel. It is empty. It smells like wine. That's all.
Okay. Quick once over. There was nothing else in the room of interest?
Nothing else of interest in the room.
Okay. But someone was interested in someone in the room. I give a little eyebrow raise to Watson. Ooh.
He blushes.
Good. She leads us out. She closes the door behind her?
Yeah.
Okay. Watson, Celine, I'm not very good at asking these questions, but there are some people in the museum that know they're in the museum. Is she one of those people?
Well, it may have come up in our time together that she might know.
You let it slip.
A thing or two.
Have you gave her a gift of a dippy bird? You sly dog.
I thought it was charming.
I think so too, but desperation doesn't look good on you.
Well, this toga does.
Yes, indeed. Man, well, we'll probably want to head to the chamber of Uriel, but before that, I want to approach the oracle, Arachne.
Aha. Okay. You approach. She is hanging very high above you, like near the head of the Colossus. You notice that there is an upper floor, and there are little archways, like little windows up there as well. What do you do?
Can I get up on the second floor? Are there stairs?
You can. There's a spiral staircase in the corner of the room. It goes up and down.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, I take it up.
You go up. On the right side, there are a series of doors. It seems these are the chambers that Celine was talking about. The key that you have has a 2 in Greek numerals on it. And you see a matching door. To the left, you see the archways, and through the archways, you are nearly face to face or face to bandage with the oracle.
Arachne, can you hear me?
The oracle has hands over her bandages over her eyes, and she lowers her hands.
Hello. I'm sorry, I've never met an oracle before. I don't know if you speak in riddles or prefer to be spoken in riddles. But maybe just starting with the question, did you see anything from your bandaged perch?
The oracle, gently spinning in her cocoon, seems to be staring directly at you, even though you can't see her eyes, you can feel them.
Where ambrosia and northern dirt entwine, the blood of gods and mortals combine.
And she is silent.
Care to elaborate?